camera will be on for the remaining 15 minutes before we can start.
Why?
Well, I could turn it off, but
Is the camera on?
It's on now.
it's on now.
Okay.
John?
Yeah, for all of our masses that watch us the next 2 minutes.
Still. If they watch live, like, can we see that, I mean, does it show in the numbers of watchers?
Yes, it does.
6, 8?
6 to 12.
Hey, that's pretty good. That's better than what I thought it would be.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
In the regular meeting.
Good.
Well, yeah. Those were,
Running kids everywhere.
We don't want that.
All right, here we go.
no, this is perfect. This
Yeah,
this
we
setup-
don't want that. We like the 6 to 12. That's
Yeah.
it.
All right, we're going 5:45. We'll call the public hearing, the truth and taxation public hearing on property tax levy. If anyone from the public would like to make any comments or testimony regarding the ordinance 2344 levying taxes for all corporate purposes for the village of Chatham for the fiscal year commencing on the first day of May 2023 and ending on the 30th day of April 2024. Total levy is $1,769,020. Anyone like to offer any testimony regarding said levy?
I would. This isn't us raising taxes, right?
Correct. Good question.
I do that every year. It's my obligatory.
Any other? Hearing none, truth and taxation hearing is closed. Good work.
Dave one year wrote something real nice in the paper. I like these show. Like, they're raising taxes. I'm like,
Is camera still on?
paper.
Camera's still on, but I turned the volume off.
I'm like,
Oh,
we're not home rule. We can't raise.
Watermelon, watermelon.
Thank you very
I
much.
think-
Watermelon.
I don't know if we could be sitting here.
You're a real swell guy.
You've also got nuts and granola bars.
Right.
Oh, I'm glad they have it all. That's my favorite time of year.
So use sign language, be very expressive.
No, thank you. Our next meeting's the day after Christmas.
It is.
I will be in Arizona.
I expect all the leftover food to come in that day too.
Fletcher will be in Arizona. I will not be here.
The only thing that we'll have on the agenda
It is well.
warrants.
That's our plan, so.
Good.
That's gonna.
And that might be like 1 minute. That could be like
That's
just
the plan.
bam, bam.
Excellent.
I like those minutes too. Those are real nice.
We're gonna have to extend those.
It takes longer to do the roll call. It does. There's no doubt on that.
What it is.
Doing a staff Christmas party.
I can't believe nobody's commented on tablecloth.
I said something
that
about
I
it a couple
totally-
weeks ago.
We did
was
it
for the
last year. I
trunk
don't
or treat,
remember
right?
what
So we don't have anything to do till 6 o'clock.
should be. What day was it?
Nothing to do until 6, John.
No.
It's a free for all. Oh, nice. Don't talk about any village business.
Yeah.
You can talk to Vern.
You talk to Vern, I guess. It's not a quorum.
Vern doesn't pour eyes.
That's right.
Pour out of me.
We do.
What's on the agenda next? It's a very small, it's just the agenda and the taxes and the,
We got to do another public hearing at 6. And a board meeting and then a committee meeting.
There's nothing on the committee though. It's just the updates and nobody's here.
Annexation, a group of people
yes,
that they're outside the village limits, but they want to be in the village. but
Correct.
not contiguous to them.
I
So they're
I get it, yeah. I remember it
Already
from
get
last
this,
year.
Dave, please. Thanks.
And then we set the,
Today's Tuesday. She's in something else tomorrow.
I'd say if we're gonna meet on
And what day? Like the
There's
following
one
week?
Monday, because
We did it on like a
Christmas
Friday.
Eve is a Tuesday next year, so we moved that one to the 23rd.
Nice.
But everything else is in Wednesday.
is same as usual.
These are big fancy.
Excellent.
What else do you need? You abate the tax levy on the electric bond because we continue to bill appropriately, so we collect enough revenue to pay the bank.
Fair enough.
But there's a levy on it, so every year when you prove that you've got your revenue, you say don't levy.
There you go.
guess I should tell those two dudes.
So
They put the ordinance out there.
you can actually say.
You know the ordinance that failed?
Complaining that you think we raised your property taxes.
What ordinance?
Actually lowered them.
No THC sold in this community? They're selling
I told,
next to county
I told
market.
him the one year you wrote up this thing in the paper that was perfect,
I thought it was.
and people still can't, and
THC?
They're selling dope.
I'm like,
They're selling
I
weed.
like that you give me credit for that, but.
They are? Not
Whoever wrote
legally.
it.
They're not like at a storefront just selling it, right? It's like you gotta go in the back room.
it was eloquent.
14-year-old, they're giving it to 14-year-old
And I
kids.
saw it, I'm like,
Oh, my word, dude, that's crazy.
Remember when they voted no for it?
Yes, of course.
The vape shop?
Yeah.
Really?
Well, they're not
Two of
operating,
my last 4 kids I busted at school bought it from there. 14-year-olds, both of them.
About what?
but they're not operating under,
that vape shop, like.
state,
I've had 2 kids buy it there.
but they're not regulated by the state.
Get 'em, Fletcher.
Legal stuff.
It is definitely operating
No
illegally.
jurisdiction there.
It cannot be authorized by the state. They don't have a
No,
license.
No, they don't.
It's not
You don't even have a license, Lisa.
I'm sure it isn't.
paraphernalia. It doesn't have to be licensed by us or the state.
Yeah.
No.
And it's no more than the same
That's what Mia,
authorization.
I just told him. I've been meaning to. I haven't had time. Oh, don't worry. I talk to
Yeah.
those guys almost daily.
You're right. You're
We
right.
talk about it every day. Dave Leach and I, we're pretty tight.
Shut down the zoning like that just
Yeah,
ended.
but if you want some.
Yeah, of course it did.
Yeah, Dave and I are pretty tight. Yeah.
yeah, Mia's like,
Why would they
she has to
go
go
in
to
there?
far bathrums because
It's
Somebody else bought it?
kids just hang out. I'm like,
They're hearing from somebody else?
kids are
It starts
ballsy.
with one person.
Oh.
Just like a domino effect.
They just don't care, or
Seems like an easy place. to
What'd you
get
say,
caught
Pat?
at 14.
it's crazy.
It seems like an easy
I
place to
mean,
get caught.
and we ain't
at
talking
14.
just like shitheads.
But obviously they.
Right. She's like, it's the popular way. It's everybody.
Somebody could have set the annexation public hearing for like 5:52 and we could have something to do in the middle.
Past experience shows that, there's as many people that want to speak about those as the truth in taxation.
It's true. It's crazy to me.
It's a lot more words I have to say that I have to get out of my mouth after 6 o'clock.
Santa
I could've got
comes
out of my
tonight,
mouth
doesn't he?
before 6.
It's one, where, at the light up the park?
No, I think Santa comes tonight, doesn't he? Usually?
Have we been good?
Oh, man, yeah, that's true. I forgot.
You didn't even look forward to it.
I know. I mean, I might.
Oh, no, it's not time for him. Slade doesn't
Yowzers.
leave until 6
You'll,
o'clock.
you'll walk in right as I'm trying to spit out everything that I have to say about the annexation.
I mean, I could message him now. and say, do you know where Santa is, Les? You see him
He's supposed to
anywhere?
come.
He loves that Santa gift.
I think
We
so.
could probably do our updates. Just start the updates, baby.
Yeah, let's do the updates.
I know.
We can't do updates?
You gotta follow the laws.
Can we just have a conversation?
As long as it's not about village business. Kind of like what we've been doing.
Santa's supposed to come to the chimney, I thought.
Oh, yeah. In the official record, yes, at 5:55.
It smells like meat and cheese.
I was like, what?
5 minutes
Meat and
before,
cheese.
yeah, that
John, when
would.
do you get out of school?
Like
When's
an elf.
school over?
For what? This semester or for the
For
summer?
the semester.
Next Wednesday.
Christmas
Next
break.
Wednesday? You guys getting on a plane, heading right out?
6 o'clock the next morning.
Nice. Very nice. Can't
John,
say I blame you,
how's the
man.
year going?
Yeah, I think,
Record numbers.
His numbers are never good.
Record numbers. Actually, we've had a decrease in every area I've tried to improve.
Good for you.
No,
He's
every
only
area-
tried to.
Every
one
area you tried to improve decreased.
Oh.
It is kind of accent.
I'm gonna listen to the other side.
I had a really good stats teacher one day, taught me how to say a lot of things really well.
John, I'm gonna go the other side, because I believe anybody.
I do
I
too.
appreciate it.
When Tana was doing her master's classes, she had to do a class that contained a lot of statistics because it was on research and stuff.
Yeah.
And their textbook was how to lie with statistics.
Yes. Oh, that's our my instructor talked about that all the time. Because you make that say whatever you want it to say. You know,
We've had decreases in all the areas we've had increases.
just however you want to say it.
You guys flying out of St. Louis?
Yeah, we were supposed to go out at Midway, and then Grandma said, "Nah, you guys are busy enough. You don't need to travel all the way up here."
Nice. Bill, I think is gonna buy a car. William Blanford.
Bill.
I would assume he goes by Bill.
Bill. Yeah, you'll like Bill.
Seems pretty simple so far.
He could buy your parking lot.
Yeah, I leave on the 28th.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Or 27th, sorry. I had to.
27th?
Yeah, I was gonna leave on the 26th, but I knew that this all-important 26th meeting I had to be at.
Oh, okay.
There's absolutely, I would not miss it for the world.
It's very good to be.
Are we the only
Came
industry
here
that
last
has to
time,
meet?
Tom, and I'm here, and I'm here for everyone.
Are we the only industry that has to meet in
2
person?
more.
There's not one industry that has to meet in person anymore except this.
That is true. I
Well,
would.
the SATs has to be in
Because
person.
it's a government,
The what does?
SATs,
government.
staying with
That's what you're talking, right?
Well, just,
something.
there's nothing else that meets in person anymore.
School board.
Government,
I think the boards all meet in person.
government,
Yeah.
elected government.
It's twice a month.
I'm not complaining. I'm just saying, like, I'd love to be able to FaceTime in on the 26th from Tucson because I will be doing literally nothing.
Are you there for work?
I mean, you can log
Good
on.
call
Gotta be
in.
there for work.
Will not be. Will not want to lie.
If you go stand, in front of, another school.
School?
Yeah, take the call in front of a high school. And
That'd be
everything.
perfect.
I was
Why
just,
is that high school got palm trees?
No, what about all the cactus?
you'd be like me, because anytime I go out of town, that is business. Because if I'm staying at a hotel, that's my
There
industry.
you go. That's a good call.
Yeah. That's
Literally, I feel bad missing it, and I will literally be
As you-
sitting
as
and
you
doing nothing.
should.
Yeah, I'll be sitting there doing this.
You can call in
You can call in and ask to be admitted, and we'll all say no.
for 1 minute. We might miss you. You know, just
Yeah, you can call them, you just can't vote.
you can listen.
True.
Listen to our voices. You can watch the video. Be one of the. You can be
Yeah,
like
you can eat
9
some popcorn.
instead of 8
By the
viewers.
time
We
it's
have
delayed-
13.
How long is the
delay
delay?
runs, we'll be done.
Those TISA gives you special dispensation.
Oh, I don't need
She's
that.
not gonna be here.
I'm not gonna be here either, but,
Should be in the Dominican.
but I'll have somebody that,
I don't
You're not gonna be here?
no.
I don't even.
Where are you gonna be?
Marco Island.
Oh,
I love it.
I was just there.
Yep. We're leaving Thursday. Be back 2 weeks.
Have you been there?
Yes.
Love it.
My in-laws rent a house for a couple months, and so we go for a couple weeks.
We were there.
Crash at their house that I don't have to pay for.
That's the only reason why you go see your in-laws, right?
Yeah, we were there at the end of the summer, and then we went back to Naples a couple weeks ago for a funeral.
You don't have to send anybody.
Love that area.
Are you sure? He's already got it on his calendar.
I think we get to be
Andrew
back
will
to
be
Fort
here.
Myers.
Take you
I
10
think our
times
condo.
I mean, that is true.
It's gonna be all new.
Are you sure?
If
Everything
we
new because the
really
first
get
2
this spot-
floors
You know what?
were
I
like
won't say
completely
anything.
wiped out.
Let me know as it gets closer. If you confirm you don't need him, and
Literally
then
the
I'll
warrants
just tell
in
him.
the minutes.
Next year, 2024.
That's fine. I'll just follow up with you as it gets closer and find out what's on the agenda.
I'll be nowhere.
That'd be up north, that's it.
I'll be
And
here.
we'll do that. I'll just have him do that.
I'll be here.
Send his
But I'll
number.
keep him
Mm-hmm.
on.
You have to have your cell phone in case they call you in the middle of it.
Vern's waiting to stand up, aren't you, Vern?
They're waiting for the committee so they
Hey,
so they can
I'll
talk.
throw you off tonight, because we're gonna do another hearing before you stand up.
And we haven't had an award in a while. We haven't had an
That is
award in a
true.
while. What's going
It's
on?
kind of disappointing.
Well, I have a picture of the Shady Hill,
No, like Vern, it's like, it's been a couple of months and no awards.
what's the deal?
I don't know, we're waiting, it's in the air.
Hey, you should get one of the wives to come and give you an award that you already have won.
Got random pins around, you can just pin somebody. deputize, we can deputize Fletcher.
Who?
He reported a crime.
Oh, he did report.
Yeah.
Could I then arrest the kids I bust for weed then?
Oh, you never match.
Citizen's
Because
arrest.
the last trustee that reported a crime that we deputized got a junior police officer sticker.
We got another, that's what you're saying, we got something else.
That's awesome.
Volume's up.
Good. 6 p.m. Village Board will now hold a public hearing on pre-annexation agreements with 16 individual parcels that were listed in the notice. If anybody would like to offer any comment or testimony, either in favor or against these pre-annexation agreements, now would be the time. Hearing none, public hearing is now closed. We'll call the regular village board meeting to order. If you'd all please join me in a moment of silence. As we will send our regards to Trustee Charo and her family on the passing of her father-in-law. The Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Clerk, would you take the roll?
Trustee Nice.
Present.
Trustee Tribe. Here. Trustee Ferguson.
Present.
Trustee Charo.
Present.
Trustee Gerger.
Here.
Trustee Fletcher.
Present for Christmas.
Village President Kimsey.
Present.
Oh my
I
word.
hear some.
What is that noise?
Bells.
Are there any public announcements?
Wow, what a special meeting.
Hey.
Yeah,
Hi, Santa!
wonderful.
This is good news, guys.
It is. This is
We
super
think it's good
exciting.
news.
Let's see if everybody was good.
Yeah.
Well, we know better than that.
We'll just
Wow. Santa Claus.
say, I know him.
You know Santa?
Smells like meat and cheese.
Thank you.
Oh, they got 2 gifts. They were really good.
Wow.
That is extra good.
That is extra good. Oh,
Wow.
Look at that.
Thank you, Santa.
Thank
We
you.
all get to.
no
Oh,
way.
wow.
I knew we were
Thank
actually
Look
you.
at that.
Oh, thank you.
the best board ever.
We follow my example.
Real better.
Thank you, sir.
Look at that. Look at this. So fancy.
Man, I can't wait.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Church and state
Santa.
issues, but I don't
Thank
feel like
you. That's awesome.
just a book. You said for
Like to
school.
be a lump of gold.
It's just a book. Journal.
Thank you, Santa.
Santa's
Thank you
fantastic.
very much. You know I've been nice.
Santa is.
That's not fair. He's got an unfair advantage.
Oh,
Nice try.
Appropriate.
I know how appropriate.
Okay.
She
I
haven't
don't
opened
wait.
Yeah, guess we gotta open
it.
it.
All right.
Yep,
The
that is perfect.
That is
the
perfect.
2023
I love it.
village ordinance.
I
Sums up
love it.
2023.
Who doesn't?
That's perfect. Tornado.
Oh, man, that's hilarious.
That's great.
This is perfect.
Thank you, Santa.
Santa, this is perfect. This is perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you. Merry Christmas.
Thank you. Merry Christmas.
Christmas.
Safe travels.
Keep doing a good job.
We will.
Santa, thank you for making the
Thank
world
you,
a better
Santa.
place.
All right.
We're happy we know you.
Okay. That person.
Yes, it's that personal touch. Thank you, Santa.
No coal.
Merry Christmas, Santa.
Are there,
Is that Kurt Russell?
gonna go roll him in the parking lot.
He's got some parking tickets.
Any other public announcements? Hearing none, any public comments on agenda topics? Hearing none, item 1 under new business is an ordinance levying taxes for all corporate purposes for the village for the fiscal year commencing May 1, 2023, ending April 30th, 2024. Can I have a motion to bring this to the floor?
I'll make that motion.
Trustee Nice made a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by trustee Fletcher. Any,
It's happening
I
again.
know.
any discussion?
He had his hand up first.
Hearing none. Mr. Clerk?
Trustee Charo.
Yes.
Trustee Ferguson.
Yes.
Trustee Fletcher.
Yes.
Trustee Gerger.
Yes.
Trustee Nice.
Yes.
Trustee Try.
Yes.
Item 2 is a resolution abating the direct annual real estate tax in the amount of $336,717 for the year 2023, levied pursuant to Ordinance 1404 and amended pursuant to Ordinance 19-37. Can I have a motion to bring this to the floor?
I'll make that motion.
Trustee Chives made a motion.
I'll second it.
Second by trustee Ferguson. This is waiving, we have a levy attached to the revenue bond on the electric substation. We've collected sufficient amounts. We waive the levy each year. So, this is any further discussion? Hearing none, Mr. Clerk?
Trustee Try.
Yes.
Trustee Nice.
Yes.
Trustee Gerger.
Yes.
Trustee Fletcher.
Yes.
Trustee Ferguson.
Yes.
Trustee Charo.
Yes.
Item 3 is an ordinance approving pre-annexation agreements with certain individuals in the aforementioned public hearing. Motion to bring this to the floor?
I'll make that motion.
Trustee Charles made a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by trustee Ferguson. Any discussion? Hearing none, Mr. Clerk?
Hold on. Trustee Charo.
Yes.
Trustee Ferguson.
Yes.
Trustee Gerger.
Yes.
Trustee Nice.
Yes.
Trustee Fletcher.
Yes.
Trustee Try.
Yes.
Item 4 is an ordinance setting the village board meeting dates for the calendar year 2024. Can I have a motion to bring this to the floor?
I make the motion.
Trustee Ferguson's made a motion.
Second.
Second by trustee Gerger. This is the same schedule as this year with the exception of December 23rd, which will be a Monday. Everything else, second, fourth Tuesdays we've done in the past. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved.
I'm on the meeting.
A motion to bring the consent agenda to the table.
I'll make that motion.
Trustee Charles made a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by trustee Try. Any discussion regarding the warrants or the minutes? Hearing none, Mr. Clerk.
Trustee Nice.
Yes.
Trustee Try.
Yes.
Trustee Ferguson.
Yes.
Trustee Charo.
Yes.
Trustee Gerger.
Yes.
Trustee Fletcher.
Yes.
Next village board meeting will be 6 p.m. on December 26th. Are there any public comments on other village business? Hearing none, take a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
Trustee Ferguson's made a motion.
Second.
Second by trustee Nice. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting stands adjourned. You're up.
Well, let's get the committee of the whole on the road. Roll.
Trustee Nice.
Present.
Trustee Try.
Here.
Trustee Ferguson.
Present.
Trustee Gerger.
Present.
Trustee Fletcher.
Present.
Village President Kimsey.
Present.
Did you?
Trustee Charo.
I'm present, yes. I'm here. All right, I mean, I don't have to answer. I mean, you can just assume that in your minutes. Okay. Any public comments on agenda topics? Hearing none. Can I have a motion to bring the consent agenda to the table?
I make the motion.
All right. Motion made by trustee Ferguson. Can I have a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by trustee Try. Any comments or on the, or discussion on the minutes? Hearing none. There's no old business, new business, CMT.
Take a
and
vote. Voice vote.
Oh my gosh. All in favor?
Aye.
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 CMT engineering update.
On that note.
That's what you call follow-up.
Be short before I said something like that.
Everything's perfect.
Couple of items has been going on since last time we've spoke, coordinating with Pat and the village personnel on a couple of various developments going on within the village. We did complete the roofing contract, however, there is some siding work that has to be done at the municipal, or at the village electric building yet to complete that contract, but the roofing is complete for the insurance claims. Signals complete at Peachtree. How are those working?
Good so far.
Excellent, excellent. By the way, congratulations on football. That Richards game was unbelievable.
It was.
Yes, it was.
That was fun.
Wasn't good to be a parent.
Yeah.
It was nerve-wracking.
She made 2 good kicks.
She did, and 2 good snaps from there.
A lot of good snaps. A lot of good kicks.
Yeah, ice cold, right on. But fantastic. Appreciate the entertainment on that.
It was good.
It was good. Thank you.
Let's see, what else do we have? Completed some sidewalk drainage improvements along West Walnut, and then we do have the roadway plans in for the Plummer Boulevard overlay in IDOT for review for the RBI funds. This morning we met with village staff to look at kind of year-end expenditures for MFT, kind of things that we did, things that we didn't get to. The biggest outstanding item was some contract patching. We do have a line item for about $75,000 of contract work for patching, which discussing with Dustin, we looked to maybe extend that along Plummer in anticipation of a future overlay on that roadway. So probably do that here this spring before the fiscal year ends for the MFT to get that work. Village crews, continued on with patching along Spruce. Was a little bit light this summer just due to the storm damage and evidence there, but we're looking ahead at the program for next year. And then the only other item that we haven't had expenditures on is salt, which not done with. We needed a lot of salt, so hopefully a mild winter here. But yes, looking forward to next year in advance of the budgeting. And one of the things that we talked about with Dustin was, typically we try to marry up our program with the budget with the village, but then at that point, we're not submitting documents to IDOT until April. And then by the time they get the approvals and everything else, we're not really starting until June on things. So what we're looking at is having a first meeting right at the first of the year, prior to the committee of the whole, reviewing what the needs are going to be for the village moving forward, making those decisions in conjunction with the permitting or in conjunction with the budgeting process, but then submitting everything in late February, early March, so we're hitting the ground running in April. So some of the projects that we are identifying is additional patching by village crews and some contract work, continue on with roadway work. We will expend the RBI funds, Rebuild Illinois funds on Plummer. Also looking at possibly combining that with some MFT money to extend the amount of overlay on Plummer. We're working from west to east and trying to get that extended further. We do want to apply maybe some of the ARPA money this year to do an experimental project. I know we've talked about that before. It just kind of never got off the ground, but get an experimental overlay project for some of these subdivisions, low volume cul-de-sacs that have significant pavement failure, but we just don't have the money to remove and replace all the pavement. City of Springfield's had very good success using Kevlar modified asphalt, so it's fibers in the asphalt. It's a process that's been used with concrete for years and years and years, to add additional tensile strength, to a, brittle material. But with the asphalt, they're injecting Kevlar fibers into that to provide more surface or more flexibility with that surface because it is a thin layer. And what we're going to try to do is salvage as much of the existing pavement as possible, mill just the outside, maybe 4 foot from the shoulders, and then pave that in with a thicker overlay in the middle, provide a little bit more crown with a thicker pavement on that, and see how that works. It's going to be kind of our own in-house experimental project because we just can't rebuild every road, and I know we all know where roadways are in just poor condition, and it's like, yeah, I'd love to replace that cul-de-sac that services 25 people for $1 million, but we don't have it. So looking at alternate routes to do that, but that's definitely going to be done here in 2024. Also looking at additional patching, bike path, and multi-purpose trail for the park. So we'll continue on with the interurban trail and then look at some other areas in the park and do a little bit more work on that here this coming year. And then one of the things that the village is taking over in-house is going to be the oil and chip program. So working with Barry, and then we'll hire that with a contractor, identify what the needs are going to be on that, and we'll get that work here done this year. So, like I said, we're going to meet in early January, kind of map some of those things out, have a game plan by February, talk amongst the board here on what our plans, goals, and wishes are for 2024, and then that way we can hit the ground running on the new fiscal year.
Okay, couple of questions.
Yeah.
Did Sweetbriar ever make our grading, when we graded all the roads?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah, that's it.
thank you. And then Hurstbourne, I know the developer is supposed to do that Manor Hill 2 section. When do you think they'll do that?
My thought is he's probably gonna wanna sell a few houses.
Okay.
And get some revenue
So when they get some
going
more
on that.
lots sold,
The longer he can hold off doing that, the better, because if he starts.
those big heavy trucks are
some
coming in.
foundations, then there's less traffic going in and out, so.
So,
But
Which, they dug a couple of lots, which is nice, so yeah. Good.
we definitely want, we're aware he's on the hook for that, we definitely want that done, because that was part of his agreement for exchanging the turn lanes and everything else.
yeah,
Right.
he has no intention of backing out of that.
No.
Good.
No. So,
Do we have anything in writing that says it by so many lots or 80% full, 90% full? It's just an agreement.
What Pat's saying is one of the issues that we're dealing with now is when all the roads were put in nicely and then everybody built up a subdivision. That's
Oh, yeah.
what shatters it.
Agreed.
The more that can get done back there before it actually happens, it's
Right.
better for us in the long run.
Yeah.
I just know we had an agreement for the turn lanes and we said we'll forego that if you repair this.
No, there is no expiration date on this one.
but that's been turned into a letter of credit, so he is financially on the hook to do that, otherwise, if he defaults on that, we can pull a letter of credit and
Okay.
perform that work ourselves.
Good enough.
For that experimental overlay, is that from a weather standpoint, temperature standpoint, is that the same stipulations that you'd have when you watch for other types of overlay?
What do you mean?
So could we?
It has to be in warmer weather.
Yeah. Is it,
Yeah, it's definitely warmer weather. It's, the asphalt works the same, it just has the Kevlar fibers in there that provides more tensile strength. So any kind of deflection, it bridges loads better with thinner overlays. But what we're looking at doing is using that to help bridge
Sure.
or subgrade, subbase, where Havens Alligator, I guess, if you think of Keystone, would be a great roadway that
there's a number of
exhibits.
Sherwood and
Yes.
Nottingham and yeah.
Exhibits
Oh.
those conditions where you just look at it with the crown of the roadway, should have been like this, now it's like flattened out or actually sunk
Sure.
completely. Fill that in, get as much material in there as possible without going back, digging everything out, replacing everything and moving forward. But once again, it's one of those things where it's like, okay, this is going to be about a quarter of the cost.
Right.
And if it works, because it is only residential traffic, we're looking at a handful of cars a day on it, the once a week garbage truck, school bus, something like that. So it should, from a loading standpoint, hold up because you don't have the construction equipment. You don't have, concrete, 5 concrete trucks for every foundation for every house. You don't have truss trucks for every house. You don't have, the extensive loading and in and out traffic. So once these developments are complete, it's almost kind of like a house driveway. Normal concrete driveway for a home is only 4 inches thick. So, if it's put in right on a decent foundation, it'll last forever, only 4 inches thick, because it's not seeing construction traffic, it's not seeing heavy loads, it's not seeing concrete trucks. So once we have these developments that are built out, fully completed, you don't necessarily need that pavement structure back per the ordinance, full design. So to do that, like I said, you're looking at a roadway like Keystone, there's $1 million to service 25 houses, and it's not cost effective.
Yep.
Well, we have to do something because we can't just keep concentrating on the major roads and let everything else fall to rubble.
Gotcha. Yeah, I just remember because I know that when it came to the work this summer, you were playing the weather game, right? And I just wasn't, the Kevlar, does the Kevlar change the game on that as far as temperature? So, okay.
No, lays down the same way.
Gotcha. Thank you.
But our plan is to document this whole process with this new theory, videos, pictures, documentation, to be able to use that as an argument that we could use MFT funds on it if it holds up for certain, you know, so
And you can
it'll
do
be a
more
long-term
roads.
study, but
Because
it could really save us money in the future.
Yeah, the problem that we have is similar to like just the RBI funds. We had to do the extensive patching on Palmer before IDOT would allow us to use Rebuild Illinois funds to pave that roadway. Sure, we could have just paved the roadway, but if the bases failed, or you have extensive patching that's just gonna reflect through, what ends up happening then is, you know, 3, 4, 5 years, you're back to the same condition that you were. So IDOT is trying to look at it from a, you know, fiscal responsibility standpoint, saying, you know, we're not gonna just let you put a Band-Aid on, you know, something that's just poor. So, no, you have to do it right, and you have to document what the structure was, you know, pavement structure originally. You have to document that you did maintain that throughout the years. You have to document that it's in good condition to overlay it, and therefore they allow you to use the Rebuild Illinois funds for that. Now, these subdivisions that are completely alligator, where the crown's sunk, where there's deflection at the curb line, there's no way that IDOT is ever going to say, oh yeah, you know, spend, you know, $250,000 and just throw asphalt on that and see what it does. You know, they're just saying that that's not a good use of state money and it should be rebuilt. Well, we don't have the money to rebuild it. So we're looking at alternate methods to bridge that failing pavement and support the traffic that it's actually servicing. So we're going to use ARPA money for that, just because it does not have the review process or the strings or the documentation associated with it. But like Pat said, we are going to document it. We are going to use it as an experimental method and then see if this is viable for the future. If it falls apart in 3 years, well, you know, we tried. But what other options do we have other than full reconstruction? That's probably what's required, but
if we could get for a quarter of the cost,
Right.
then we could do 4 roads a year instead of 1 road a year.
Right.
And if we start making progress that way, then we can get these subdivisions all resurfaced. The problem that we ran into was a good problem. The village of Chatham developed really, really quickly in the 70s and 80s, and new subdivisions were all over the place. So all those roads went in at one time, and they're all aging out at one time. We need to be able to take care of those and get them set up so that in the future, they stagger wearing out instead of the way that they're doing it right now. This is the first time that we're having to experience where some of those subdivisions, that when there was 3 or 4 or 5 subdivisions going at one time, all the roads are wearing out.
and up until this point, you know, our focus is, you know, what are the highest used roads? What are the highest, volume roads in terms of ADT? You know, what is the most costly to repair if we don't put maintenance activities into them now? So that's why we're doing the, you know, patching on Ptarmigan, patching on Spruce, you know, the overlay on North Park, you know, overlay on Gordon, you know, working on Plummer. So getting all those up to snuff, because to replace any of those is multi-million dollar project. So, you know, the cost to patch, repair, do maintenance on it is significantly less than full reconstruction. So we can't let those go to just crap. So, great.
Anything further? All right, thank you, Jim.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jim.
Next on the agenda is the village manager update.
We have been meeting, it seems like on a regular basis, once, maybe sometimes twice a week with the folks from FEMA on our application to be able to get reimbursed for the damages that we had from the storm. One of those, we have six different, they call them projects, 6 different projects to submit. We submitted 1 today, so we got the first one in. The people from FEMA have been coming here, they go over the stuff, they ask a lot of questions, we get them more documentation, and we go through the whole process, and then they work with Megan on loading the stuff up to the FEMA website. Even at this rate, we have to have everything in by February, which I don't see any problem with us being able to do that. But it may be quite a while before we start seeing any money come back this way. It could be as much as a year to a year and a half. So we have to plan for that. Shane is officially retired. He retired Friday. And we have items in place with BHMG to act as our electrical engineers, and Ryan Slidham is the lead worker in the electric department, and he's willing to do that work and stuff like that. So right now they think 4 linemen is enough for us on a regular basis. We'll see how that goes. As far as with the police, no changes since the last meeting.
Now our last officer, he's off probation, off the field program, he's out on his own now. Our other officer, the female officer, she's in her 15th week at Macon County, 16 weeks old. 1 more week, then she'll be graduated from there. She'll come back to our department, do another 18 weeks with FTO with the field training officer to go through the proper procedures, channels, how we run the department here from our side. Other than that, it's knock on wood, it's been.
We're still looking for a dispatcher if anyone is interested, apply.
Hopefully have that position filled here in the next few weeks.
Yeah.
They also go through a 12-week field training program as well. So.
Dustin, you got any updates?
Snow and ice have stayed away. We've had a few water main breaks,
We have had a few water main breaks.
a few leaks.
Yeah.
That's been pretty quiet.
Yeah.
We will be starting meeting Thursday, I think, on budget reappropriation. You know, the thing we go through every year of looking at this category, and we spent a little more in this, but we didn't spend nearly as much in that. Juggling those around and moving them around. But Kayla's going to come back and visit us Thursday and bring the baby. So.
Yay.
Oh, that's when we should have fun.
We've had quite a few inquiries on new commercial developments, which is very, very encouraging. I think some of them are going to come to fruition. Others may not, but we've had a request for possible another liquor license, and so things are starting to pick up. I think the economy's turning around. I think things are starting to get going again. Anybody got any questions or anything?
All righty, good deal. Looking up for 2024. So no public property discussion? All righty. Any public comments on village business? Hearing none. The next scheduled meeting is Committee of the Whole is January 9th, 2024. So Happy New Year, everybody, and Merry Christmas. And then, so we have no reason for closed session. I will take a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
Trustee Nice has made an motion. Can I have a second? Oh, seconded by Trustee Fletcher. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, this meeting is adjourned.